I say shout out to all the brothers and sisters out there in social media land. This is indeed a great day to be alive. This is a day that the Most High have made. We should rejoice and be exceedingly glad in it. All praises. So we done the video yesterday. We streamed it through YouTube. I'm coming up with a system for both audiences. We used to just do the videos on Facebook and then upload the videos to YouTube, but for some odd reason, I have not been able to upload the videos off of Facebook onto YouTube. So what I'm going to do is that one teaching that we go over is going to be done directly from Facebook. And since we can't upload it to YouTube, then we'll go on YouTube and we'll do the same video again. And then one video we'll do live stream from YouTube, and then we'll upload that one to Facebook. So in actuality, what we're really doing is just going in reverse. So I noticed that many of the videos that we upload from YouTube to Facebook, I noticed that people don't take the time to watch those videos. It's almost like they like, catching the live video. But whatever it is, the Most High gonna guide His word where it's supposed to be. So pray for me that I don't ever get caught up with numbers. Well, my numbers are very small, and but I realize is that everything ain't about numbers. So that's how we're going to do that. So today I've already uploaded the video we done yesterday. I've uploaded that video from YouTube on the Facebook, and that is dealing with the 11th chapter of Proverbs. This video here, we're going straight into the 12th chapter of Proverbs. We're still dealing with understanding the parables, words of the wise and their dark sayings, that we can be able to incorporate those things into our life. Only the man or the woman whose spirit is receptive is going to be able to understand the dark sayings. This is God's wisdom that have been hidden. And only people that is going to have it is those that are willing to seek after it. If you're seeking after wisdom, you have an opportunity to lay hold on it. But if you ain't looking for nothing, then 9 out of 10 times you ain't going to get nothing. Even when we try to make things plain, you still won't have a comprehension of it because you don't have a heart's desire to chase after it. So we're going straight into the 12th chapter. And I'd like to say peace and blessings be upon all the brothers and sisters that have a little leisure time to chime into the video. Hope that something is said that will bless you. Said, Elder, don't worry about numbers. Wisdom is refreshing and a light shining for me to help light my... That's a beautiful thing, and that's beautiful, and that's encouraging. That's encouraging to me because the Messiah says, you know what? If I got 99 and then I see one going astray, I'm to leave the 99 and go after the one. So thank you for that, sister. That's encouragement. Helps us keep our focus in the right place. That the one is even greater than the 99 if they in trouble. And so thank you for that. And that's going to help me to keep my focus where it's supposed to be. So let's take off running into this 12th chapter. And I hope that the brothers and sisters will watch the video that we uploaded from Facebook, from YouTube, because it's going to be dealing with breaking down the 11th chapter. They're not going to be long videos because we're only going to do one chapter at a time. But we want to make these things plain so we can make them applicable. And we can start practicing on our brothers and sisters, practicing on our children, practicing on our wives, so we can see how, what a great advantage having that wisdom gives us. Our prayer is that the Most High by His Spirit will direct His word into the place that He means for it to be in. Chapter 12, first verse. Whoso love instruction, love knowledge. But he that hate reproof is Brutus. Here we got, whoever loves instruction, loves knowledge. Because Your knowledge is coming by way of instruction. When you want to learn something, you got to seek out the instruction for how to do it. Once you apply the instruction that you've been given, now you become more knowledgeable of whatever that particular thing is that you was partaking of. Whoso loves instruction loves knowledge. So the more instruction you get, the more knowledge that you're going to have. The more knowledge that you have, the more opportunity that you have to gain wisdom. And gaining wisdom with that knowledge is learning how to use that you do have. But he that hated reproof is brutish. Okay, reproof is dealing with correction or chastisement or rebuke. Because oftentimes when you're going to learn how to do something, in the beginning you don't really fully understand what it is that you learn how to do. So it takes instruction. Somebody has to come along with knowledge or wisdom in that area to give you instruction. And oftentimes, you know, you might be doing it wrong and somebody come that knows how to do it to say, hey, man, you know, this is how you do it. You got that in the wrong place. You put it over here. You're not looking at this right. You got to look at it from this. That's reproof. Reproof is a form of mild correction. Just move over to the right a little bit. Move over to the left a little bit. But it says a fool hates to be corrected. And this is why we was talking when we did the video and we start talking about constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is a form of reproof because it shows you if you can get better in this particular area that I'm critiquing you in, then you will be better overall. When you can't handle constructive criticism, then it makes you foolish because the Most High classify you as a fool when you can't stand to be corrected. Then we have many brothers and sisters that are on both of these pages that have to challenge themselves. They have to come face to face with this. When you go to their page and you try to give a form of mild correction or a reproof, who do we think he is? Or why they think they know everything? Or why they coming to my page to do this? Well, in actuality, somebody taking the time out to try to help you to have a better understanding by giving you the proper instruction. And the proper instruction is not based on them being better than you are, them knowing more than you. It has everything to do with them having a greater understanding in this particular area, or whatever the particular area is. So when people come to reprove you, if you're the type of person that you get mad or you take it personal, then God's saying you a fool. Because you just rejected the person that has the ability to give you instruction and increase your knowledge on this particular matter. We don't want to fall into this category. We want to always be the type of people that can be reproved or corrected or chastised or even rebuked at times because none of us are perfect. And don't nobody know everything in one area. You see? And when we start talking about wisdom, you see, a person that's a certified mechanic, he can give you knowledge and instruction when it's pertaining to fixing a car. But he can't give you knowledge and instruction when it's pertaining to the anatomy of the human body as a doctor does. So both of them possess a wisdom. It's a wisdom and a knowledge that's being possessed in two completely different areas. So whatever the thing is that we're striving to learn, we have to seek out the knowledge and the wisdom that people have in that particular arena. You can't just go to everybody, you see? Now, somebody want to learn the Bible or something like that, they might come to me. I might be able to give them a little instruction in the Bible. But if you want to learn something else like how to fix your kitchen sink, I can't give you no wisdom in that area. See, there are so many different areas in life to where God have given people knowledge. And by their knowledge, they are able now to give instruction. And that instruction, when it's applied to the life, will become knowledge to the person that's being able to receive it. But if you're the type of person that you're unable to receive knowledge, you're unable to receive reproof or correction, what you're doing is you're rejecting knowledge. That's why we have them scriptures in the Bible like Hosea 4th chapter. My people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge. You know why? Because they're not going to the right place, to the right people to get the specific knowledge that they need. He said, but there's another thing that goes with it. He said, because you have rejected knowledge, I will reject you. See, God have all these different arenas where people are wise and have knowledge in those particular areas. He says, so it's not like the knowledge that you need is not being made available. It's just that when somebody come to make the knowledge you need available, that's classified as reproof. And when you reject the correction, the Most High said, well, I got to reject you now. So you'll never be wise in that area that you're striving to be wise in because you can't receive correction. He said, now, he that hate correction, he's brutish. So when you look at most of the people that can't handle correction, they turn brutish. They'll cuss you out. They'll block you from their page. They'll slander you. They'll do all of that. Well, what they don't understand is that somebody knows more about the Bible than they know. And then they can stand a chance to learn that the Bible is reading your mail right now. It's showing you that you are in the Bible. And when you understand that this person that they're talking about right now might be you, now you have gained instruction that you can apply to your life that will make you more knowledgeable of God's process and how he goes about doing things. A good man obtains favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will be condemned. What is a good man? Scripture said, why do you call me? Yahshua said, why do you call me good? There is none good but the Father. What does he mean? A good man obtains favor of the Lord. Well, let's look at where favor comes from. You see, favor comes from a couple of different places. One place favor comes from, he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Most High. So if you're a husband and you have a wife and you're doing right by that wife, then guess what? You have obtained the favor of the Lord by that particular goodness. You see? Now there are other things that bring favor. You see? When a man's ways please the Lord, he'll make it even his enemies to be at peace with him. That's favor. Wisdom causes a man to be favored in the eyes of other men. So when we start talking about a good man and what is a good man, being a good man is going to be based on some of these principles of instruction that we learn how to live by. A good man can be classified as one that shows grace, one that shows mercy, one that shows kindness, one that shows forgiveness, ones that can challenge themselves to repentance in the areas that they need to repent. They are the ones that's going to receive the favor of the Most High. But a man of wicked devices, he will condemn. All of the wicked devices that are in this world, because that's where people put their energy at. You have all these wicked devices that are being heaped up in the world, and they'll understand that the Most High is going to condemn them for the things that they have made. The gun is a wicked device. The tank, the arm, the weapons of war are wicked devices. You know what I'm saying? All of these things that women use from an external standpoint become deception to men. Makeup and false hair and all of that type of stuff. Deception. These are all wicked devices that have been created that the Most High will eventually condemn us for, because these wicked devices stop us from walking in his truth. And Proverbs is not dealing with two different type of people. It's dealing with the twofold nature of one man. So every man and every woman have to be able to identify with these particular areas that are speaking with them. The root of the righteous. When you look at how your life is built. How is your life built? Is your life built on lies, deception? Is your life built on truth? Is your life built on doing things from a standpoint of impurity? Or is your life being built on doing things genuinely from the heart? A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bone. Now we're speaking about the sisters. A virtuous woman is a powerful woman. A virtuous woman is a chaste woman. A virtuous woman, a good woman, is a crown to her husband. What makes her virtuous? She shall do her husband good all the days of her life. She shall not bring no evil upon him. She shall be of a quiet and meek spirit. A virtuous woman. She should not be a lazy woman. She works with her hands. She has a mindset. She knows how to do business. She understands the home. A virtuous woman. So in other words, what you're saying, you ain't talking about no strong black woman or no strong woman. You see, a strong woman is not a virtuous woman. A strong woman is a rebellious woman that have made up her mind that she could succeed all by herself. And that's why that's where the devil has tricked many of our sisters. You think because you have been able to survive through a single parent home and then establish yourself as business or whatnot, that makes you a strong woman. That don't make you a strong woman. In some instances, it makes you even the more weaker, because it takes a level of humility to be a virtuous woman. Being a virtuous woman means that you understand the purpose that God established for you in the beginning. I shall make for him a helpmeet, one that shall come alongside of him and help him. See, you can be a strong woman all you want with no man, but a virtuous woman understands that she can't be virtuous without a man. And a virtuous woman that understands these simplistic principles, she will become a crown to her husband. That means that her husband will walk around with a crown on his head. That means that everybody look at this dude from the standpoint of being a lord over something because of what he's wearing. You see, that crown that he's wearing moves him into a whole nother arena of life when it comes to the people that he living his life with. But that crown is that woman. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. But the woman that makes her husband ashamed, she's like rottenness in his bones. He said, when you got a woman that you can take out in public, and she ain't got no type of discretion, she'll cuss somebody out, she always got an attitude, always talking noise, want to argue with you in public and all that, she that causes shame. When a man got a woman that he had to keep at home because she lacks discretion and she lacks virtuosity, that breeds rottenness in his bones. Because people wonder, man, where your wife at? How your wife doing? Man, why your wife don't never come? Everybody else got their wife. Well, you know what? I can't bring my wife because she's a fool. My wife won't mess up. She want to argue with everybody. She'll mess around and be drunk in here, and go to tripping and all of that and cussing the kids out and all that. He said that type of woman makes a man's bones as though he got osteoporosis moving through his body at a rapid pace. That woman. See, now you're looking at the two natures of a woman. You get to pick and choose what woman you're going to be. And you have to be conscious what woman you're going to be, because these are the words of the Most High. These are not the words of men. These women are in the Bible, whether people identify or understand them or not. But these two women represent one woman wrapped up in flesh who has a choice to decide what type of woman she going to be. You can be a strong woman who will cause a man's bones to be rotten, and that's probably the reason why you'll be by yourself. Or you can be a virtuous woman that understands God's purpose for your life, and you coming along understanding that you will help me coming along to walk beside that man to get God's wills done, makes you a crown. It makes you to that man what the crown is to the king. And you get to pick and choose what woman that you're going to be. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. You see? So when you're striving to do right, all of your thoughts are going to be right. Father, help me with this. Father, help me with that. I don't want to make a bad choice over here. All my thoughts is right. I better not do that if I'm going to be in trouble. He said, but the counsel of the wicked are deceit. Now, this is important because you got to be very careful who you go and get your counsel from. Be at peace with many, yet have one counselor out of 1,000. The counsel of the wicked is deceit. Oh, boy, you know what? You got to be a player out here. You got to be a player. You got to keep your side piece out here. The counsel of the wicked are deceit. You're being deceived. He who troubles his house is going to inherit the wind. You having a side piece going to cause you to end up on the other side of the door where your wife and your family live. The counsels of the wicked are deceit. Well, come on, boy, let's get this hustle on. I got this sack for me, boy. You're going to be rolling next year. You're going to be doing it. But you're on your way to the penitentiary or to the graveyard. Counsels of the wicked are deceit. Girl, you don't need that man. I wouldn't listen to what that man got to tell me. Girl, you got to use what you got to get what you want. Hey, the counsel of wicked people are deceit. They deceiving you into losing whatever it is that you have. So we want to be counselors of these things. Cousin Ken, I never heard from you yesterday. I got something for you, man. One of our young kings, you know, he had given me this a while back. We raised some money for one of our elders in Israel, and he had given me this. This is a gift card. It's an American Express gift card. It has some money on here. It's not a lot of money, you know, but being that you're at work right now, I wanted to put this in your hand, you know what I mean, so you can at least have something in your pocket if you need gas or whatnot. So that's why I was telling you to call me yesterday. But since you're on the line, you can call me today, and maybe you can come and pick that up. And then you can thank your brothers and sisters that are on Facebook for that gift, because ultimately they are the ones that are responsible for contributing to our helps ministry, that when our brothers and sisters have a little difficulty, we're able to do something for them. So be encouraged, because you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. But I got this for you, okay? All right, so it says, the words of the wicked are to lie in and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. So when the book of Proverbs first started off, he said, if sinners entice you and they say, come, my son, come, let us lay in wait for blood. Cast your lot in with us. Let us have one purse. Now you're talking about things like being a gang member. You see? Now you're talking about hooking up with cliques that's out robbing. When you turn your TV on and you see 30 and 40 people bum rushing the store, breaking glass, running out with everything. You turn your TV on and you see, you know, the Crips and the Bloods, you know what I mean? That this is what this is talking about. It's talking about the condition. And these people won't want to identify with the fact that they are wicked. They are wicked. And then we say that, you understand, and you know what, then we put ourselves in jeopardy too, because some of the brothers be watching. And they say, oh man, you know what, he out there calling us wicked and all this and that and the other, you know what I mean? Let us lay and wait for his blood, you know? But it don't matter, because it's what the books say that people gonna do. And whether it get done to me or whether it get done to somebody else, it's still a manifestation of what the book said. There is somebody that's laying around just waiting for your demise, waiting for your destruction. He says the words of the wicked are to lie in and wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. And that's why when you're dealing with wicked people, they hate people that are upright coming around, because the upright people have words that can change a person's mind, change a young brother's mind. Boy, you know you wasn't raised like that, man. Hey, boy, have you ever thought about that? You see that penitentiary? It's getting fuller and fuller by the day. Don't you understand that this jail is a systematic scheme that's set up to keep our young men locked up doing 40 or 50 years where they can work for free for 30 years? Do you not know, young brother, that if you work a job for 30 years making $25 an hour, you will have life insurance, health benefits, and all that? When you combine all those extra benefits and retirement and everything, it might mount out to be $40,000. Now imagine working for 40 years at $40,000, and then you got all this retirement money and everything. I said, listen, that turned out to be over $100 and some thousand a year, and this is how much money they gonna make off you if you find yourself down there with these criminals and then you end up in jail. These people want you in jail because they gonna make $100,000 off of your being in prison for the next 40 years. That's $400,000. Now you tell me what you couldn't do with $400,000. You can have a car you want to drive. You can have a house you want to live. You see, the words of the upright can change their mind. This is the book. This is wisdom when we understand these things. It says, a man shall be condemned according to a man shall be commended according to his wisdom. And he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. There's twofold nature again. Either you're going to be a wise man or you're going to be a fool. Either you're going to be commended for what you're doing or you're going to be despised. Ain't no in-between ground. But you get to pick and choose who you're going to be. You want to be a man that's going to be commended? Man, that brother was doing good. Man, that sister was doing good. That boy, that's... Or you're going to be somebody, man, I can't stand that joker. Man, did you hear about what they just did? Did you see what she just did? Ain't no in-between ground. This is the twofold nature of one man and one woman, and we have to do battle within ourselves, picking and choosing which person that we're going to be. He that is despised and have a servant is better than he that honoreth himself and lack bread. Now you're talking about the prideful man versus the humble man. He that is despised, people can't stand him. People don't like him. They probably don't like him because they jealous of him. They probably don't like her because they jealous of her. But every time you see him, every time you see her, they got a servant with them. They got somebody that's helping them get everything done that they need to get done. He said, and they are despised of other people. He said, now, he that have a servant and is despised is better. He's better off being despised with a servant than somebody that honored himself and lacked bread. There you go, the flip side. You ain't got no servant. You ain't even got a car. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no options. You ain't got no power. But all you got is a bunch of talk. You're honoring yourself. Man, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Well, people saying, if you was this and if you was that, why your life look the way that it look? Here's what I'm telling you. You can't stand. They got all the answers to life's question. You got to sit here and argue with somebody that you got to go give a ride to. See, he that is despised and have a servant, that means that he's taken care of and he or she is taken care of and they handling their own business. But this joker over here, he always got himself on a pedestal, but he ain't handling no business whatsoever. He can't even take care of his own self. They despising you for what you got and what you got consistently. But they talking about themselves over here. But every time you turn around, they're showing up at your door. Hey, man, can I borrow this? Hey, man, can you give me a ride over here? Hey, man, can you give me something? They see, he that despised to have a servant, he is greater than the one that honors himself but lacks bread. You'll be surprised how many people that we got in this world like that. Because we only want to portray ourselves as being something before the eyes of people. So I come around people, I'm making sure that I'm clean. I'm making sure that I got the name brand shoes on. I'm making sure that I got all of that. You know, even if I do got a car, I'm making sure that my car is nice. So I've invested all of my energy in the wrong places. And when they get through looking at me honor myself, you understand what I'm saying? I end up being the one that had to come to them for something. You got a good game, you talk good, it sound good, but at the end of the day, you ain't applying the things that you're talking about, and you the one that's in lack. Well, I got a servant. I don't look all that good, and I ain't flashy, you know what I mean? But I got my house, I got my car, my houses, I got my food, I got everything that I need, because I got a servant. I got somebody that's walking with me, that's helping me every step of the way, that's becoming a beneficiary of whatever it is that I'm doing. So you get to pick and choose what you want to be. It's either put up or shut up. You can either be the joker out there talking about, I'm Israel, I'm Israel, I'm Israel. Ain't even got a wife, ain't even got a house, laying on somebody else's couch, smelling somebody else's feet, jumping in somebody else's shower. Every time you need to go somewhere, they got to heap up stuff to drag you along with them. I'm Israel, I'm Israel, I'm Israel. It ain't no different than any other religious construct. I just use Israel because Israel is where I'm dwelling at. So you can be that type of person. I've been that type of person. That's how I know how to understand some of these passages. I've been that type of person. It looked like you got it all together in the eyes of people, but in all actuality, you lack bread. You over there with your stomach growling. You look good as hell. All get out. Everybody else eating good. Everybody else eating good in the restaurant. You got to order some French fries. A righteous man regards the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Here goes a knife. Here goes a knife. Because I was looking at a TV show last night and I thought about something. We were looking at Law and Order, and they're trying to catch this doctor who done killed somebody, you know what I'm saying? And then they get to the experimental part of it, and the dude pulls out the rabbits, right? And so the cop, he always got a sarcastic comment, and so he makes the comment about the rabbits being experimented on. So the guy's saying, you know what? Well, we don't experiment on the rabbits to make cologne and make handbags and purses and clothes and all that. He said we experiment on the rabbits so that we can try to find cures. And here's the thought that jumped in my mind. If they use the animals for experimentation to create medicines and vaccines to put in human beings, what does that tell you about flesh and blood? It tells you that all flesh and blood is the same. All flesh and blood is the same. Here, the book of Proverbs says, a righteous man cares or have regards for his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Do you not realize that your righteousness is directly attached to how you care for the Father's beast? Oh, see, some things are challenging. As I said, you're dealing with the twofold nature of a man. Some things we know, some things we don't know until we come in contact with the scripture being laid out in the way that it's supposed to be. A righteous man cares for the Father's beast. So what do you call a man who could slit an animal's throat? What do you call a man that don't have no problem putting the animal on the plate? What do you call a man that don't have no problem putting the animal in this condition? What do you call a man that can go and wring a chicken's neck and chop his head off? What do you call a man that can throw a hook in the water, a sharp, torturous object, and literally snatch a fish out of his habitat? Can you call that man a righteous man? What do you call that type of man? Because here, the Bible says a righteous man, he cares for the fish in the water. He protests the things that they're doing to the animals out there in the water. A righteous man protests the things that the slaughterhouses is doing for the animals. A righteous man protests what's going on in the grocery store. A righteous man protests how the chickens are being raised and being farmed. A righteous man cares for the life of his beast, of his beast. Why? How are they his beast? They're his beast because in the beginning, God placed the beast in the care of Adam. He said, you shall subdue the earth, reign over it, have dominion over it, and replenish it. And you are to reign over these animalistic kingdom as a king reigns over his subject in righteousness. You are to be to this creation what I am to you. He said a righteous man cares for the life of his beast. But the tender mercies of the wicked, they are cruel. What they call it, halal meat, halal flesh, where the animal was killed a certain kind of way. What they call it, halal, how Islamic brothers do it. They say, oh, this animal, this is halal meat, because halal meat draw a line of distinction between how the animal has been murdered. He said, but I don't care how tender you're trying to be when you're cutting some animal's throat open. I don't care how tender and how merciful you're trying to be when you're taking the life of a beast. Your tender mercies are wicked and cruel. Let me read that again. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. See, God called any man that could kill an animal wicked. And no matter what type of devices that he used to try to justify to make it tender. You got some of our brothers down, oh, well, you know, we farm our chickens and we feed them, you know, real feed and this, that, the other. Oh, well, you know, we feed our animals a grass fed and they don't go through the trauma of slaughterhouses. God said, don't fool yourself, buddy. The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel because it don't make no difference how you try to raise an animal up. When in the back of your mind, murder is going to be the case that they give you, it is a wicked act because God didn't give you, first of all, flesh and blood as a food source. And second of all, he didn't give you the right to kill any of his creation. Now, I know many of our pinhead brothers, they completely ignore the first 6 days of the Bible when God made everything and the commandments that God gave Adam. And then they loop straight over to the Levites who were wicked men themselves. And then they try to justify wicked acts that came into play after Adam had fallen into sin already. So what they doing is they are stockpiling sin on top of sin, on top of sin, on top of sin, and then trying to use their forefathers' wickedness to justify it. But the book ain't gonna change, baby. I don't care how tender you trying to be. You didn't give that animal no life. You don't have a right to take no life away. And no matter how merciful or what kind of justification you trying to use for it, God says it's a wicked act and you're cruel. You got to be cruel to pull the blood up out of a life of an animal while he's screaming and while he's squealing and while he's hollering and while he's crying in his eyes and while his children gotta watch him die. That's a wicked act. And no matter how merciful you trying to be while you're doing it, it ain't gonna work. So we better be cautious about what's in it. It's the twofold nature of a man. One side of his mouth be saying serving God. Other side of his mouth, when he see the word of God dealing with him, he rebels all the way against it. It's the righteous man and the wicked man wrapped up into the same body. The wise man and the fool wrapped up into the same body. Wrapped up into the same body. He that till his land shall be satisfied with bread. But he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. You tilling your land has everything to do with a man's responsibility to work and earn a living, to be responsible for his house, to make sure that there's food in his house, to make sure that his wife is taken care of, make sure he's taken care of. Tilling your land is going out working for the things that you need. But there's another brother. He don't take no time to till his own land. He spends more of his time ripping and running in the streets, following after other people. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread. But he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. Void of understanding. And I got brothers like this in my life. You understand what I'm saying? That, you know, house falling down, you know, trash everywhere, you know, things need to be done. Things need to be done around the house. They can't get done because you gone. You at somebody else's house, helping somebody else get what they done, get what they need done. He that followeth after vain persons is lacking understanding. Yeah. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. Self-explanatory. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the reward of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. Self-explanatory. You know where your good fruit gonna come from? It's gonna come from your own mouth. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. See, you can't tell a fool nothing because he spends so much time talking, he ain't got time to listen. But to the man that has a listening ear to sit down and listen to counsel, he will be classified as a wise man because he will learn how to do much. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covers his shame. See, a fool's wrath is presently known because he don't have no discretion about nothing. But a man that is wise, a prudent man, he's going to cover his transgression. Whether he covers transgression with repentance or whether he understands that he got to use discretion. He can't do everything in front of everybody. Don't we understand that? That's important. You can't do everything in front of everybody because ain't no man perfect and all men have shame down in their life. Do no secret thing before strangers. There is he that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. Now we're dealing with our speech. We're dealing with how we speak to each other, the things that we say to each other. Some things we say to each other can be very harsh. Soft-spoken words turn away anger. But harsh words stir up anger, make a situation worse. And this is what we're dealing with, our speech. There is one that speaks like the piercing of a sword. That's harsh language to somebody. But there is a tongue of the wise that is health. That's understanding those simplistic principles of wisdom that, hey, I don't bite. If I got to argue with you, I'll stop talking to you. The lips of truth shall be established forever. But a lying tongue is but for a moment. Self-explanatory. The lips of truth shall be established forever, because truth is going to always be true. But a lying tongue is but for a moment. You see, a lie going to catch up with you sooner or later. So that's self-explanatory. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. That's self-explanatory too. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. And that's a good one for our living. But why should we have to lie to each other? You don't have a heaven. I don't have a heaven. You don't have a hell. I don't have a hell. We can't do nothing with each other's life, and we all imperfect. So why do we have to lie to each other? Only time we have to lie to each other is when we're deliberately trying to deceive one another. And that's why lying lips become an abomination. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaim foolishness. You see, a prudent man, this is why I tell my brothers and sisters on Facebook, if you will be wise, you can be wise for yourself. Everything that you learn, everything that God show you, ain't so you can go out there and start blabbing off at other people. It said, if you're going to be wise, a prudent man will conceal the knowledge. You hold on to the knowledge that you have until somebody come along that's seeking it. We don't volunteer no information. If you ain't looking for nothing, then I ain't got nothing for you. But the heart of fools, they proclaim their foolishness. They don't have no problem just always spewing, always spewing. And people ask me sometimes, well, why are you so quiet? Why are you so quiet? They see the videos and things like that, you know, and think I always got something to say. But really, in actuality, I don't have nothing to say. The only time I have something to say is if somebody is asking me something that is meaningful. Because I ain't even responding to no dumb stuff. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule. Those people that are diligent in doing business, they shall bear rule over other people who desire, whether it's them to have a desire to want the desire to have employment, whether they desire to do something. Those people that are diligent in doing their business, they will bear rule over them that are classified as employees. But the slothful man shall be under tribute. You see, the slothful man, he's going to be up under tribute. Slothful man going to be in trouble because he's lazy. And every time you turn around, he's behind. Every time you turn around, he needs something. So every time he get a dime, he going to be up under tribute. Hey, bring that right on over here, boy. Bring that right on over here. You got to pick and choose which one you want to be. Who you want to be. Do you want to be the person that's got something that you can employ or help your brothers and sisters be raised up? Or do you want to be the type of person that's lazy and slothful, always begging, and every time you do get a dime, you're under tribute? You got to go and give that to somebody else. Verse 27, the slothful man roasted not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of the diligent man is precious. See, the slothful man, he too lazy. He too lazy to do it. I couldn't have never been good as a hunter. I could have never been good as a hunter. Because I couldn't get the fish off the hook. I couldn't chop his head off. I couldn't scrape the scales off of him. You know what I'm saying? So all of these areas, I would have been classified as a sloth. When you're a sloth, you need somebody else to do everything for you. You see? It said the slothful man, he won't roast that which he took. I mean, even though he got to eat, he too lazy, or whatever his reason is, he don't want to do it. So, so he ain't going to do it. So he'll starve to death. But the substance of the diligent man is precious. So we're talking about substance of a diligent man, whatever the diligent man do, because the diligence is dealing with the working. They're dealing with the working, and then you heaping up, and then you're gathering the things that you need, and those things are precious, because the diligent man don't spend his hard-earned money on foolishness, on dumb stuff. Everything he spends his money on is precious in his sight, is needful. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. So that's the 12th chapter, that we want to be in the way of righteousness. And in the way of righteousness, in that pathway, there is no death. Does that mean that we walk righteous in this world, we won't die? Nope. Not death like they was talking about. We literally pass from death to life. You see, the righteous man. The righteous man is going to pass from this life into the life that had been promised to him. He ain't going to see no death. You see? But that other dude, he's going straight into everlasting judgment. Yep. So that was chapter 12. Hope somebody been blessed by these few nuggets of wisdom. We have to go out and strategically practice these things. Practice these things on each other. Practice these things on our job. Practice these things on our husbands, on our wives. And we have to make a choice who we want to be. Either we want to have wisdom, or we're going to be fools. So ain't no in-between ground. Peace and blessings on all of you.